Here is everything you want to know about Mac Studio Display. Everything. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to my channel. So what we're going to do today is, are you interested in Mac's brand new Studio Display for $15.99? This is going to be a high-end 5K display, 27-inch, and this is more for professionals or for people that are going to use this display for many, many years, maybe buy it once and then start buying Mac Minis and other systems, not iMacs, obviously, that have the screen attached. This is more for professionals at that cost. But at the end of the day, this video is going to give you all the technical specs, the costs, the options, the type of what comes in the box, the type of computers that work with it, and some different options that are alternatives at the very end. So it's going to be a full video on exactly everything basically that Apple's published on this. You can get this information online if you want it, so it's not any mind-boggling information or anything like that. It's going to be, might be a little dry, but it's going to give you all the information that you want on this monitor. I promise you that. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to get into it, and you're going to learn a lot about the Studio Display by this brand new Mac Studio Display that's very expensive. What does it include? What does it have? Let me share the screen, and we're going to go through it together. Let's go. All right, so here it is, Studio Display, and it's basically made for the new Mac Studio. That's the actual computer, but this is the display that comes with it. $15.99 is the starting cost. So here's the kind of the main specs right off the bat. It's 5K, 27-inch diagonal, obviously, 5K Retina display, 5120 by 2880 resolution at 218 pixels. 600 nits of brightness, and the reason I highlighted it down here is just because you can see it down here is because that's kind of, MacBooks, the new ones and stuff, really kind of cap out at 500, like at least they can go a little higher, some cases, other Apple computers, but the 600 is kind of that next threshold up. It's kind of in between, so it's going to be a bright monitor. It helps. It's not HDR bright, but it's going to be bright enough for most users to have things pop on that screen. So that's kind of important. It's not 500, but it's 600. It's got support of 1 billion colors, wide color gamut, I guess P3 True Tone technology, which Apple has on almost all their systems now. And you can configure it with some nano texture glass, which I'll get into in a second. We'll do that right now, actually. But that's actually, the kind of the main specs of the monitor. All right, so when you buy this, you get the standard glass. They call it here active reflective coating. It's kind of like an iMac. It kind of reflects things, but it's glass, so it's going to reflect, you're going to see a lot of light in it. And that's going to come standard. This one on the right-hand side over here is basically going to be nano textured glass, and you need to do an upgrade for that. That's going to give you a matte finish. Now, a lot of people say the colors don't pop as nice on that, so unless you absolutely need that, there's a reason and you want that, you're probably not going to be happy with it. At least that's a lot of people tell me that. I've seen it up close too. I didn't like it as much, but you may be different, so check it out. But that's going to be an extra over here, nano texture glass. So what's the cost here? So if we look at the monitor itself, it comes with a standard glass, $15.99. You can obviously finance it by Apple. It looks like it's, this is a screen capture, but it looks like it's going to take some time to order this or ship it in right now. A lot of things going on around the world and stuff, and this is going to take some time probably. So $15.99, you get that standard glass, but if you want that nano glass, $18.99. So you're talking $300 for that, so you better know you want that. $300 upgrade for that nano glass, which is kind of the matte finish, not the kind of clear glass, obviously. All right, the reason this is kind of phased out here, if you look at my screen, is because it's not available right now. I think they're not giving you these options because maybe they're sold out or maybe it's not time to order them yet. But eventually it will be, and we'll get into the stands later in this video. But first of all, $15.99, you get the tilt adjustable stand, so you can tilt it. But if you want tilt and height adjustable instead of just getting like a stand, it's going to cost you $19.99. So that's a $400 increase, $400 just to make it go like this, right? Just get a stand or something. And then you get the Visa mount, which is going to be basically $15.99 if you want that. That's going to allow you to do some vertical stuff. I'll get into that in a second as well, later in the video. But those are the three options there. And sorry it's grayed out here, but that's the way Apple has it on their website. All right, reference modes. A lot of people ask what this means. You can pause this here. These are the reference modes that are associated with this monitor. Pause it if you need to. But it says you can use reference modes included with your display to match the production requirements of HDR, HD, SD video, and other media types. Each reference mode sets the color space, white point, gamma, and brightness of your display. So if you're a professional, you know what that means. You'll definitely know what that means, but take a screenshot just in case you do, or that project you're working on does ask for a reference mode. All right, now more interesting stuff. The camera. It is a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. You can see here 122 degrees of, it's basically a widescreen, right? 2.4 aperture gives you good low light performance. And it's got center stage, so it's got, and I'll get into that. It says studio display includes a highly advanced camera with 12 megapixel sensor, and it's got an Apple Silicon chip in it, which we'll get into in a second, which features center stage, which comes with the Mac for the first time, with Mac screen actually. Center stage keeps you centered in the frame as you move around, making video calls more engaging. When others join in and leave a call, the view expands and zooms in. So it's going to basically follow you around, zoom in, zoom out, works with FaceTime, WebEx, Zoom type things like that. And it's powered, this is the funny part, it's powered by Apple Silicon. So inside of the monitor, there's a A13 Bionic chip, enables basically the studio display features, center stage, spatial audio it helps with, and then actually it has the Siri built in there. Hey Siri, when it's attached to your computer, so that actually works as well. And that's kind of powered by the A13. All right. Audio. So this has got audio in it as well. They do have speakers. It's got a high fidelity 6-speaker system here with force canceling woofers, wide stereo sound, support for spatial audio when playing music or video with Dolby Atmos, stereo quality 3 mic array, and it's got signal to noise ratio and direct note beamforming, and then it's got the high Siri built in as well. So it's got a 3 mic array, and that's kind of like the MacBooks and stuff. It picks you up from, it's going to pick up the room or pick up all your different sounds around you, which is really good. And then it says 4 force-canceling woofers to produce, obviously, the bass, and then 2 high-performance tweeters delivers, mids and crisps highs. So there you go. I mean, it's going to be a pretty good sounding monitor. I mean, it might sound as good as the maybe 16-inch MacBooks, which is going to be great. It's got 6 speakers. So if you're wondering about that, you don't have to buy speakers on top of this. Hopefully, studio speakers are going to sound better most likely, but this is not bad. All right, it says hear it everywhere. Spatial audio immerses you in the sound like having your own personal movie theater or concert hall, powered by that A13. So it's saying it's got kind of a surround sound kind of built-in feature, which we'll hear in a second when this ships. Right now, a lot of people have not been able to test it, so we'll see how accurate that is. All right, connections. This is really important. So if you look at the back here, there's 3 USB-C, and those are straight standard USB-C, and then 1 Thunderbolt 3. So it's got 1 upstream Thunderbolt 3. That's the one that connects to your monitor, or not to your computer, I'm sorry. And it's 96 watt host charging, 3 downstream USB ports, C ports with 10 gigabits per second for connecting peripherals, storage, and networking. And so what is that for? Take a look here. Here's another picture of the monitor in the back of it with those 4 connections. 3 USB-C ports let you connect power and charge your devices. So you can, from networking to external drives, to your keyboard, mouse, or iPhone even. The Thunderbolt port connects Studio Display to your Mac with a single cable. That same port can charge compatible MacBook notebooks and even fast charge a 14-inch MacBook Pro, so that you can use all these for charging and mice and everything else, including fast charging, which is kind of nice. For the money, though, you expect that, right? All right, the stands are where it gets interesting. So here's kind of the standard stand you get right here. You can see a picture of it. You can pause it if you want to know here. It does have 3 different options, and I'm going to go through all those individually so you guys know what those are. So very quickly, here are the 3 different stands. And here's the standard stand, tilt adjustable. You can tilt it, basically like this. I think you can move the monitor this way, but you have to tilt it this way. The next one is tilt and height adjustable stand, which is a huge premium. Like I said, $400. And then if you want the VESA mount here, you basically can go, you can go vertical on it. So if you're a person that uses your monitor instead of horizontal, vertical, you can definitely get that VESA mount and then do that. So those are interesting things right there. But now this is the part that if you look here, see this right there, and then see the arm right there. So let's take a look. So here's the size and weight. First of all, the monitor is, 13 and almost 14 pounds, 6.3 kilograms, so it's pretty heavy. But anyways, you can see here, look at this arm on the bottom. It's 6.6 inches, right? And the monitor is basically right in the middle of it, if you can see that. See that? If we go to the next one, which is the $400 increase, if you go to this next stand right here, this is the tilt and, tilt and height adjustable. Let's see here. Weight is the same basically, but see this little arm here? So now we're at 8.1 inches on this little, see 8.1 down here. Let's go back. This was only 6.6. This is 8.1. Plus this monitor is basically near the front of it in both scenarios here. So this is going to be closer to the front of that 8.1 instead of the middle of 6.6. So that makes me think it's about 3 to 4 inches further from the wall. So if you order this monitor and you have a close wall setup, a very slim desk, this isn't going to work because it's going to push that monitor closer to you. Even though you get that height adjustment, you might be better off just getting your own stand or something. So keep that in mind. The third one here is the Studio Display with VESA mount. You can see it here as well. A little bit obviously less weight because you don't have the stand there, maybe 1 or 2 pounds lighter, but it's got a kind of a weird VESA mount there. You can see it there. So obviously I think that comes with the same $15.99 cost. All right. This is what it's compatible with. You can see the list here. You can pause this as well. So it's going to be probably compatible with a lot of Apple devices, obviously, including some PCs and stuff. But if you look down here, the interesting thing is it says iPad Pro 12.9-inch, third generation or later, iPad Pro 11-inch, or iPad Air 5th generation, I'm guessing, or later. So it does, it says that it's going to basically pair perfectly with these devices. It lists a whole bunch of things in here, Mac Mini 2018 or later, which makes me think, obviously it doesn't have USB-C on the ones prior to that probably, and that's, can you use a conversion cable? I don't know, but keep this list here. You can go ahead and pause it. All right, so what's in the box? Not much. Basically, you get the studio display, which you see, and you get one Thunderbolt cable, 1 meter long. So 3 feet, not long at all. You're probably gonna have to upgrade that. A 3-foot cable is not really that long at all. And then that's how you power the device into your MacBook or into your other computer, your Mac Mini, which is not this old one, but an M11 or the Mac Studio, obviously. So that's all you get there. 3-foot cable though. Here's the electronic stuff. I mean, the big thing here is the 60 hertz, so it's single phase 60 hertz, so you're not getting like a 120 hertz monitor. You're getting a monitor that's not for gaming. It's more for video and development, stuff like that. So keep that in mind when you're going to buy this. Obviously, Macs aren't for gaming, but it's not going to, for this much money, you're not getting that. You know what I mean? And then here's the limited warranty. It says 90 days of technical support and a 1-year limited warranty. But you can purchase Apple Care like they always do to you. You're spending $1,600, but they want you to buy it in an extended warranty. I think it should be like 2 or 3 years if you're spending that much money, but what can you do here? And then it says configure to order, which we covered. All right, and then finally here's kind of obviously it says it's made with recycled metal and recycled magnets and things, rare earth metals. So I don't know how green Apple is as far as pumping out all these millions of trillions of computers, right? But at the end of the day, every bit helps. It's better than nothing, right? It's always better than nothing. So this monitor, though, is for professionals. If you can spend $1,600 on a monitor, you're probably getting money back from that. Even someone like me, I have another job. I do this for fun. I don't make enough money to really buy this from YouTube to buy this monitor. So what are your other options if you can't buy this? If this is too expensive for you? Well, you have a couple, but they almost get worse, except for a couple of them. I mean, you can get this. This is a 24-inch only. The other one was 27. This is only 4K. It's going to have the same pixel density probably. But this is going to be, let me see here, it's by LG, Ultrafine, $699, so $700, maybe with tax, it's a little bit less than half. So that's going to give you less than half, but a smaller monitor. The next thing is no one will get this if you can't get the other one because of cost. This is the Pro X, the Pro Display XDR. This is Apple's huge 32-inch 6K monitor. Starts at $5,000, goes up from there up to $6,000, $7,000. All these different stand options. So that, again, that's not a great option for most people, obviously. So then Ultrafine LG, this used to be the kicker before, was this 27-inch 5K LG monitor here. Again, you can get it, there's very few left on Amazon, but this was $1,249. It's only a couple $100 cheaper. Doesn't have any of that built-in stuff. I'm guessing it doesn't have the good speakers and spatial audio and all that kind of stuff. So this is not going to be the best option for most people either. This is probably going to just dwindle in sales now because everyone's going to buy the other one when it's this close unless this drops. So look for this to drop. If this comes in like $700, $800, it might be worth it. And then I did a video. People are beating me up left and right. I did a video. Just check it out. It's basically $1149 for a 27-inch 2020 iMac with an i5 base model. Add your own RAM to it. $1149. You can add as much RAM as you want. This thing will, goes through 4K video very easily. Maybe not for a super professional, but for a YouTuber, this is going to last you a couple years. Beautiful 5K screen that it matches this screen that's maybe a little bit not as good, but very, very similar to that screen. And you're getting it for way less than the screen, and you're getting a whole computer on top of it for $1149. Maybe get this, sell it in a couple years. Obviously people say, no, you can't, you have to go with the M1. I get, millions of comments like this. I understand that, but people are different. Like, my wife and stuff, she doesn't even know if it's an Intel or an M1. She doesn't care. If she can do her videos and stuff like that, this is perfect for her, and she's not spending $4,000 on, buying the other things. So this is an option. And then finally, if you're one of those people that has to buy the M1, then you have the option, again, the same dot ratio. Go with the 24-inch new M1 iMac, and it's, $1299. Again, you get 24 inches, same probably pixel density on that monitor. It's only 4K, but it's smaller. And then you get the whole computer built in with the M1 chip, mind you, and that can do most video editing as well pretty easily. So you're not going to have any problems with that as well. So anyways, that's the end of the video, and I just want to kind of wrap it up by saying, if you need this kind of stuff, you know who you are, and it's not for everyone. I understand that. Hopefully this taught you a little bit about the monitor in full and all the little details built efforts into it. If you can support my channel and subscribe, it's going to help me out. Again, I'm a very small channel. I have older stuff because I can't afford like $20,000 worth of gear every time something comes out. I have to mortgage my house. But at the end of the day, I do I do have computers and I keep buying them because I have to review things and I kind of do weird things like, try to refurbish old ones and all that kind of stuff. But if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe if you can. We'll talk to you soon. Until the next video, peace.